Estamos aquí con Mike Kudriavsky, que es el CEO de Membrana Media, que es una compañía especializada en tecnología relacionada con bueno, pues la publicidad y los medios de comunicación. Mike, thank you for being here.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Hey, how would you describe the current state of transformation in the advertising and publishing industries?
We have to separate these transformations because advertisers, they're always on their own journey. And this journey is different from the publishers. For advertisers, it's about acceleration, finding new channels of distribution of their ads and focusing more and more on performance, right? While for publishers, it's more catch-up. Because we need to put a pin and understand what actually is happening. It's not that publishers actually need to go through this transformation. They're being pushed by social markets, social platforms as a total, gaining more and more audience. And eventually, publishers, after years of feeding this social with their own content, now realize that they're left with nothing. And they need to change, they need to adapt, and they need to give same type of experience as you get on the social.
Why are the publishers don't be ready for this transformation?
They used to focus on very simple thing. Me as a publisher, I'm always thinking about the traffic, right? If I get traffic, I'm happy. But while they were focusing on the traffic, they did not build communication with their user. Very few of the publishers, only maybe biggest publishers, of course, they have already subscriptions and some added values. But if we say about local publishers, medium-sized publishers, they were focused on SEO. SEO as the main source of their income. And now, while they are all experts in SEO, and SEO becomes so very complicated with core web vitals, with all of this stuff, they figure out that they have only one source of the traffic. Because no more traffic from Facebook, no more traffic from Twitter, only Google left. And Google can change it immediately. And now traffic is a gift for the publishers. And for them to catch up, they need to rethink on how they will actually make it. But it's like a learning curve. You need to first start speaking to your audience.
In this context that you are describing, which problem is Membrana solving and how it's doing that?
We build communication. We are in a frontier of building communication, starting speaking with our audience. Because my impression right now is that because there is less traffic, publishers become more conservative, right? And what does it mean? Is that they will start gating the content. And now all the content is available immediately. You just land on the site and you have this article. And they can go like full rogue and do paywall. But if they do paywall, it means that 90, maybe 5% of their users will just go away. And it means that it's not enough having only paywall. You need to have different options on how you benefit from this specific visit. It can be paywall. Maybe you can ask them to share information of the gender or their age, so you can start collecting first-party data. And based on all these factors, you can grow revenue per your user. Without focusing only on one small segment of subscribers.
You mentioned Google and the search, but as you may probably know, the Google search are impacted by AI. You're not.
We are victims. We as an open web. Open web is a victim of a big fight. There is a big fight between Google, OpenAI, DeepSeek, Perplexity, and all this other amazing stuff, right? So the biggest impact is coming from Google, not from Perplexity or ChatGPT, but from Google, because he has to keep in line with the development of the market and, how they say, oversee the whole ecosystem, right? Because they want to keep the audience. they were introduced with AI overviews. And they, oh, cool, it looks interesting. But AI overviews just took 25–30% of the traffic from the market. So is it this OpenAI a problem, or a Google who is trying to keep his market share and be even bigger monopoly who is changing the market?
So do you think that AI, especially generative AI, is a challenge or an opportunity for media and advertising?
For someone, it's an opportunity. But for some people and some companies, it's a major threat. Right? Because if they will not be able to adapt fast, they can lose their business. Or they will sell this business or do something else. But but if you put bad query to AI, it will give you bad result. And now we have all these amazing, pages and PDF and presentations made by ChatGPT. They look good and they have great structure, but when you read it, you see there is no actually value in all of this beauty.
How is impacting AI to Membrana Media?
We try to benefit from AI. All right, so we use this as an agent, and we build own agents to have it inside the company, fulfilling different purposes on optimizing, speeding up the process, like content production, like process optimization, like the knowledge of information where you can, instead of looking through all the products and projects that we did, just asking AI and getting a brief overview on the same issues that have happened previously, right? And building agents for publishers. But the question becomes if the publisher actually needs these agents, because if you have only one piece of the puzzle, you cannot benefit from it as on a whole. You can get lots of useful data, but you don't know, for instance, how to sell this. Or you collect the data that advertisers actually don't need. So it's like having strategy behind it. So not just that, let's use AI. Okay, but if we use AI, what impact it will make? Can we actually measure, the improvements that we get from having AI, or we will just use AI to create beautiful presentations?
So, which challenge are the media facing in order to integrate this agentic AI in their platform?
Absence of the vision on how it will actually change, because agentic AI, from what I know, all reporters use AI to build the structure of the text or to give the summary. And what I learned is that when journalists were able to start recording calls and get overview of the call, of the Zoom call, for instance, it was a game changer, because now they can once of a sudden proceed with more interviews and making all these notes without necessity of making them by themselves. Right? So you need just to have a plan behind it, right? Because for journalists it's one type of agentic AIs, for developers it's another thing, and developers now can vibe code. It's a very fancy and cool stuff, and everyone can start doing it. But vibe coding for a senior engineer, it's a quality improvement and speed up of the process, right? Then they one of a sudden can build the whole platform knowing all the backgrounds that they have. But if an average person will try to vibe code, he will get something, but it will be more like some kind of a prototype rather than a working solution, because you need to consider and get this core expertise before you start vibe coding. So development teams, that implement vibe coding need to be very careful about it, right? It's not that you can hire Junes and ask them to vibe code you the site. They will fail. You need to hire senior people to vibe code. And now we have a new type of a problem. We don't need Junes. We need only senior. And you see, so it's like it's a game on every step to make the proper approach. Because for small companies it doesn't make a big problem. But if you're a huge company and your development team, I don't know, are 100 people, for instance, right? You cannot have 100 seniors. And at the same time, if you hire only seniors, how juniors will get expertise?
We talk a lot about the media side. What about the advertiser?
Advertisers living their best life. I want to be, I was always on the publisher side, and while we're doing direct sales and we work with the agencies, we have people who are experts on this, and I'm still feel more like I'm on the publisher side. But on the advertiser side, it's a great time to live, right? You can focus more and more on performance, achieve great results using, unfortunately, and focusing more on social media programmatic channels, because there you can get performance, scale, and obviously, yes, if it's 80% of the market or whatever. So for publishers, it's a struggle, and potentially what we hear is that publisher gain some difficulties, get even branded campaigns. All right, working with the agencies, getting branded campaigns, because same branded campaign on different channels can perform differently. And on the channel where you have AI, all the data, moments, artificial touch points, and native integrations, you get one level of performance, and then you go and try to buy standard banners on the website, and your performance will be like, but why I'm paying for this, right? So for advertisers, it's a great time, but for publishers, this change on advertiser side is an additional challenge. Because if you're a very big publisher, yes, it will be difficult for you, but you will handle it. But if you're a mid-sized publisher, now getting budgets from direct sales, from agency sales, become more complicated.
Can Membrana close the gap between this beautiful situation for the advertiser and this struggle?
On the scale of the whole market, no, it is not doable, because it will take us much longer, and there should be some other changes. The open web should be like more united, maybe some building more alliances, so the publisher will not fight against each other, considering that my competitor is another publisher, but understands that they need to work together and compete with all other content distribution channels. All right, but on the web, we can enrich the publisher with the data, and the only question if they know how to use it. All right, because once again, if they don't, it will make nothing, right? Okay, I have all this data, but I don't know. No one needs it. I don't know how to pack it. I don't have resources. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't have a team big enough to start selling this.
And does the publisher know how to get the most benefit of the data, or?
Big pubs with big teams covering number of titles, of course, right? They can combine data points, and if they already have subscriptions, they have big list of emails that they can also use as a new channel of reaching to their audience and creating this, environment around them. Rest of the market, they have no clue. And the struggle here is that this, it's like richer get richer and poor get poorer. And here we have the same stuff. Big companies accelerate faster and faster, while small companies, slowing up, slowing and slowing and slowing. And the gap between technologies that they use, and not even technologies, but expertise that they get on the local level of local media in Seville, for instance, is totally different compared to the global publisher having 20 titles and reaching millions of people.
But I suppose that the smaller one could be more agile than the biggest one.
Yes, if they are profitable, of course. If they're profitable, if they are not profitable, then it becomes a challenge. All right. But they can be more innovative. They can have some brilliant ideas, but maybe some of these ideas will be so big that they will not have enough resources to execute it.
Mm-hmm. Can you name a media that is getting well in this scenario?
Getting well?
Yes.
In the world or in Spain?
Both.
So in the world, who is getting well is obviously New York Times. They reinvented idea of the subscription. So right now, subscription is not only about the content, it's about all of those things and added values that you get. And 60% of subscriptions that New York Times is getting is coming from the games.
The games.
Yes. So this is like a big change on how you. They some years ago they bought Sudoku.com or some domain, and now if you want to play Sudoku, New York Times will always be the first.
And Wordle. Wordle, the game called Wordle.
Wordle? Yeah.
They also be bought by.
Yeah. So you see, and that's like an interesting pivot. While you have all this news, but at the same time you give this, you find this gap within your audience. In Spain, I think it's early to say. So because when we see that AI is everywhere, it means that AI is only within the big tech.
So the key is being able to offer different type of media.
Exactly.
Light,
Exactly.
audio, view.
Exactly. You know what's on the rise? Maybe did you watch any series of vertical dramas?
Vertical dramas, no.
No, mini-series, no? So this is this is an emerging trend. It is coming from South Korea, and it actually looks very interesting. So imagine you have one TV series of 80 episodes. One episode is 1.5 minutes long. So altogether you have 120 minutes of like a full movie, but in vertical orientation. And this is a growing trend that is coming, and we work and have strong presence in Turkey. And within Turkey, and that Turkey provides and creates lots of dramas that are known worldwide.
So you see different behaviors between the north of Europe and the south?
Not necessarily. On big markets, on market like Spain, right? You have very big national and even international brands like Marca, right? And when you're so big, you have more resources to be a frontier of the market, right? But if we speak about the market average, smaller markets and south of Europe, but not all the countries, smaller countries may be behind, like maybe Romania, right, or Bulgaria. So it's not necessarily equal in all the places, but Europe is not like the same.
Yeah. And as you see the worldwide experience, how do you describe the Spain situation?
Spain is it's a traditional conservative market. While and this is like a heritage. When you have a newspaper that is above, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, 20 years old, then there are several generations of people used to work in the same company, and all this heritage and all these rules that are coming from their early years have this effect, and the process has become slower and adoption can be slower, but Spain is always about some personal communication, because if you speak to proper people in a person, and you have trust, then the process will start fast. But if you don't know the right door, then it will take you a very, 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 very long time.
I know that looking for the future is sometimes it's very difficult, but how do you see this industry in 5 years?
I don't see any good outcomes, unfortunately, for open web specifically, right? Because there will be less and less traffic, and just because adoption of internet is very high already. All right, and the change and rapid development of technologies and the way how we consume the content and types of the content that we consume is or changes all the time. Because for you to be successful as a company, it's about getting attention. If you don't have attention, regardless if you're a publisher or if you're an advertiser, no attention, nothing will happen. And focusing on attention is the core expertise that media companies need to gain right now.
So, what advice will you tell to the publishers and media to survive?
Advice, reinvest everything that you can into innovations, and do a constant experimenting on formats and build new forms of the news and diversify your strategies of how you reach to your audience.
The last question, do you think that in this environment of the economy of attention, could the media gain or retain the consumer attention without relying on other platforms, especially social media?
Of course, definitely. But the problem with the attention is that media lost competition for the young audience. If you go and check the average visitor age across all the markets, regardless, on news sites, you will figure out that the average age is about 50 years old. So attention is based on trying to get these people from social to your site by offering same type of experience.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if there's something that perhaps you want to say to your audience that perhaps I missed to ask you?
Nothing. No, I think we covered it pretty much, and thank you for having me here. It was a pleasure. Interesting conversation, and I hope that open web will be able to reinvent itself. All right, the way that will be suitable for coming generations. Because because if it will die with those people who right now read news on open web, it will be sad. But if it will be able to reinvent itself, it will be amazing.
Okay, so thank you, Mike Kudriavsky, CEO for Membrana Media, for being with us. See you next time.
See you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.